Hello my yoga friends. Welcome to today's class with me, Emily. Today's class is going to be a Vinyasa flow focusing on opening our heart chakra. So meet me on your mat. You can grab a couple blocks if you have them. If not, we can make do without, and I'll see you on your mat. All right everybody, if you have a block, go ahead and put it under your sits bones. Just for the beginning of the class, you can also choose a comfortable seated position or be seated on a pillow or a blanket if you have those nearby. Starting to root through your sits bones in the earth, reach your crown tall, sit up as straight as possible. You can close off your eyes or have your gaze softly on the tip of your nose. I'm going to start rolling our shoulders up towards your ears and down in the back. Making some subtle movements, tuning into our body, feeling present here and now. Beautiful. And let's rotate the other direction, coming up and forward. Warming up the shoulders. Noticing any differences or similarities in one direction or the other, or one shoulder to the other. Come to center and shake it out. Let's start to breathe, become aware of our breath, taking an inhale through our nose and exhale through the mouth. This is starting to create some heat in our body. Beautiful. Inhaling our arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale. Really reach our arms to the ceiling as we exhale. Before we exhale. One more twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, cactus arms. Beautiful. Present your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Cactus arms. 2 more times. Inhale. Great job. Remove your block if you're sitting on one. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Palms flat on the earth, knees under our shoulders. Top of the feet flat right on the mat. Inhale, drop your belly. Thread your chest through the windows of your arms. Look up. As we exhale, round the back of the spine. Gaze comes in between the knees. For cat, inhale, drop the belly, gaze looks up. Cow pose. And exhale. Into cat, working with your own breath. Let's go through a few more of these. Allow your pelvis to lead the movement. Drawing your belly button to your spine. One more round. Coming back to center, pressing through the hands, tucking the toes, lifting our hips for a plank. We're going to shift the weight forward and then send the weight back. Warming up our calves, warming up our toes and our forearms. Keeping the weight distributed in the palms of the hands. The 4 corners of the hands are carrying the weight. Micro bend in the elbows. Just finding some movement here. Warming up your strength. Coming back to center, drop your right knee down, kick the leg behind you and roll over onto that right knee. Gaze follows the fingers to the ceiling. Supported side plank. Making sure to lift the right side body, engaging your lower core here. Let's find some movement. Inhale, thread the needle. Exhale, extend. Work with your breath here. Let's do 2 more. Hand back to center. Knee pivots, tuck your toes, come back to that high plank and rock it back and forth. Making sure your belly button is drawn towards your spine. And coming back to center, dropping that left knee, coming on to supported side plank. Other side, lift through the left side body, pull your belly button to your spine. Press into the outer edge of that right foot. Breathe here. On our next inhale, thread the needle. And exhale back to center. This time we're going to tuck our toes, send our hips to the sky, coming in for a downward facing dog. Allow your shoulders to roll away from one another. Your knees can be bent. You can walk your dog by pedaling out your feet, reaching towards the back of the room with your heels, pressing in the 4 corners of your hands. You can find stillness if you like. Another option is to bend your knees a good amount, allow your belly to rest on your thighs. Press through the hands, allow the head and neck to release, and then straighten through the knees. Beautiful. Look forward, bend your knees, and step, hop or float to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Find our Tadasana at the top of the mat. Allow your arms to release by your sides. We're going to take a second to catch our breath, get acquainted with the floor under our feet. So grounding through our feet here, you can rock back and forth, feeling the earth below us on our feet, our toes, all the edges and the corners if you press into the ground. And finding stillness, press firmly through all 4 corners of your feet. Lift your toes and lower the big toe and the pinky toe on the earth. Micro bend your knees, engage your quads, pull your navel to your spine. Reach long through the crown, palms face forward. Inhale, arms up. Gaze comes with, take your gaze up towards the ceiling, minor back bend. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need here. On your inhale, presenting your heart, you can have your hands rest on your shins. Exhale, plant your hands and step back into high plank. Knees to the ground or lower all the way. Release the tops of your feet to your mat. Come up for cobra. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Finding your breath here, settling into your down dog. Looking forward, bending your knees, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, settle into your chair. Drop your arms, cactus arms. Open your heart. Make sure your knees are behind your toes here. Bind your hands behind you. Open your heart even more if you like. Release your hands, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, step back to plank, find your chaturanga. Meeting in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, step, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, settle in. Inhale to cactus. Present your heart. Check your alignment. Knees behind toes. Take the bind if you like. Inhale to stand. Tadasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, find your Vinyasa flow. Meet me in your downward facing dog. Inhale onto your toes. Step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to step our feet wide here, coming into the 5-pointed star first. You can have your toes at a 45-degree angle, or if it feels better to have your feet parallel with the sides of the mat, feel it in your body and see what's good for you. Standing here, come into our cactus arms. Focusing on reaching our crown towards the ceiling, drawing our belly button to our spine, opening through the front of the body, drawing our shoulder blades together, pressing in through the edges of the feet onto the earth. You might want to walk our feet out a little bit farther. We're going to bend our knees for a goddess squat. We can bring our heels pointed inward and lower it down. Bring left elbow to left thigh. Squat lower and take the gaze over towards the hand, towards the ceiling. Trying not to drop in our left side body. Inhale back to center. And exhale. Come over to the right. Energetically wrapping your left ribs back, finding lift in the right side body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squat. Take a bind behind your sits bones with your hands, presenting your heart. Straightening the legs, pointing the toes forward. We're going to hinge at the hips, press into the earth with our feet. If we'd like to have a block here, this is a great place to rest our hands on the block. You can widen or shorten your stance as much as you need for comfort. Bending your knees as much as you need, bringing your hands towards the earth, your head towards the earth. And press your hands up. Pivot that left foot forward. Allow your right foot to follow. Framing your left foot, coming into a high lunge. Coming into a crescent lunge. Lower that right foot down. Come open for warrior two. Making sure your left knee is stacked over your left ankle, extending through the right foot. Hands can rest heart center or arms reaching away from one another, gaze over left fingertips. Straighten through that left knee. Grow tall through the crown. Hinge forward and come down for triangle. We can have a block on the outside of our left foot. Staying here, I'm just going to grab a block. And then walking that right foot forward. I'm a little close to the wall, so walk back. But walk your right foot forward, shift the weight into the left leg. Press into the block and come into half moon pose. Energetically reaching that right foot to the back of the room, opening through the heart, reaching the fingers towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Lower that right foot back, coming up for warrior two. And then shifting that right foot back for our high lunge, frame that left foot. And let's step it forward for forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find your chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward, step, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to step wide into our goddess pose again. Pointing our toes out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sink low. If we want to play around with our feet, we can lift one heel off the ground and sink it low. Other heel, or both heels. You can take a bind behind us. Lower our heels as we need. Inhale, straighten through the legs. Exhale, point the toes forward and fold forward. Bending our knees as much as we need, bringing our crown close to the earth. Inhale, press up, pivot the feet towards the front of the mat. Stacking that right knee over that right ankle, coming up for a high lunge. Exhale, open for warrior two. Checking in our alignment, knee stack over left, right ankle. Back foot is 45 degrees or parallel to the back of the mat. Inhale to straighten through that right leg. Having your block on the outside of the right foot. Standing tall, hinging forward, coming into triangle. You can always take a bind, opening your heart in this pose. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk our left foot forward as we prepare for half movement. I have to back away from the wall again. So walk that left foot forward, ground through the weight in the right foot. And have your block just a little outside and in front. Energetically lifting that left leg, reaching towards the ceiling, strength and straighten through the right leg. Find a dristi or a gaze on a non-moving object. And then exhale, lower back down to warrior two. And inhale to warrior, we're coming into crescent lunge. Back foot is lifted. And exhale, framing that right foot. Step the left foot up to meet the right, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your feet as wide as the mat and sink your bum low, coming into a malasana squat. You can have a block underneath your bum here for more support, or you can go ahead and try without it. Use your elbows to press your knees away from one another. Allow your hands at heart center to rest over your heart. You can close off the eyes here, have a dristi or soft gaze off the tip of your nose or a non-moving object. Rest your thumbs right over your heart. I know I'm warm, I have heat in here, so I can feel my heart rate pretty well. And I invite you to just tap your thumbs together over your heart, mimicking a heartbeat. And coming back to stillness. And removing the block. Pressing through your hands. Walk it back for a high plank. Draw your belly button in. Bend your elbows and lower to the ground. Coming up for cobra. And press it back for downward facing dog. Shift the weight to the toes, press forward, just coming back to a high plank. Belly button to your spine, lower all the way to the ground. From here, we're going to bend our knees and walk our feet towards our glutes. Our heels towards our glutes. Take our arms and reach behind us and grab outsides of the feet. You can lift your chest off the ground. Breathing here, starting to engage your core. Activating your lower core, lifting your pelvis or your pelvic floor. Navel to your spine. Finding engagement, growing strong, starting to lift a little bit more, and then kick your feet into your hands. Another option is to use a strap here, or to practice your cobras and up dogs. And go ahead and release. Allow the right or left ear to come to the mat, and the arms to come on the floor. Press your hands under your shoulders and send yourself back into a child's pose. Allow your belly to rest on your thighs, third eye rest on the mat, and arms rest on the floor by your feet. And getting active, pressing up through our hands, crisscross our feet underneath us. Come forward, sit on your sits bones, coming into our ab portion of the class. Walking our sits bones underneath us. We can grab underneath our hamstrings to kind of help us get onto those tips of the sits bones. Nice long spine, the crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. Opening through the chest, point your toes, you can lift them off the mat, or you can do one foot at a time. Reach your arms away. Making sure not to dump into the lower back, keeping our chest open. Keep lifting through the heart. Find a drishti or a gaze to keep yourself centered and strong and balanced. Beautiful. Hug the back of your hamstrings in. And hug your knees to your chest, and you can just kind of roll down onto your back of your body. Massage out the spine. And we're going to come into a bridge pose. So we're going to walk our heels of our feet towards our glutes. If we have a block and we want to make this more of a working bridge, then we're going to squeeze the block through our knees, lift through our hips, send our pelvis to the sky. You can hold here and just focus on your squeezing the glutes, squeezing that block together. We can add some movement as an option. As we inhale, reach our arms over our head, lifting our pelvis even more. And as we exhale, bringing our hands by our hips and lowering the glutes to the ground. One more flow with your breath, really squeezing at the top. Beautiful. Remove the block. Hug the knees to the chest one more time. And reach your legs straight. You can reach your arms overhead, a good morning stretch. And then release everything to the mat, coming into our final resting pose of Shavasana, corpse pose. You can walk the meat of your shoulders underneath you and allow your palms to face the ceiling, allow your knees to fall open. Allow everything to go here. You can close off your eyes or gaze off the tip of your nose. Allow your breath to become neutral. And allowing any thoughts to enter, but not giving them too much attention. Just asking your to-do list to come back at a later time. This time is for you in stillness and quietness. And relax the muscles of your face. Release the tension between your eyebrows. And allow yourself to become heavy. Feeling the earth support you. And starting to breathe awareness back into your body, being in this moment, physically on your mat. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. And hug your knees into your chest and rolling onto one side when you're ready, taking a fetal position. And taking the time that you need, working your way, pressing yourself up into a seated position. Joining me with your hands in heart center. Closing off today's class. And here's a time where you can set an intention for the rest of your day. Maybe join it with the affirmation of I am capable of love, I am full of love, and I am loved. And I bow my thinking mind to my feeling heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up today for yourself and joining me on your mat in this practice. As always, my practices are only suggestions. This is a time for you to show up. You can follow along or be inspired to do what feels right in your body. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.